Yes.
Hey guys, Jafo here with a first look at a game called the Cult of the Barnacle Bay from Panda Cult Games.
Yep.
I'm here with Heath, one of the designers, creators,
Art
project
directors,
heads,
concept artists.
pretty much the guy. There he is, Heath. Also here with my partner in crime, Melina, and we are here to check out a first play of the Cult of Barnacle Bay.
Yep.
So what have you got here for us?
All right, so this is a setup of the intro scenario. So right now, our goal in this game is to try and get our heroes from the Wanderers Guild, who've been sent into this small, peaceful fishing village, to try and find and put an end to the source of the corruption. So we've got a local bear guard that's been turned into shark bear brutes.
Wonderful.
Always good. We also have with us the local fishermen from the town have been given this horrendous crab claw to pinch their enemies with.
Huh.
Elder Bean also brought with them fishback casters from the deep to corrupt the city. And also, we can't forget, the monks from the local church have been given this tentacle arm to fling needles at you from a distance. So your job displays heroes from the Wanderers Guild who have been sent into this town to find and put an end to the source of that corruption. So you're going to want to try, in this intro scenario, to infiltrate the cultist den. Now, you think you could just hop over and shoot over here, but that is not the case. This is underground and this is above ground. So your goal...
That seems difficult.
It is. Your goal in this scenario is to get to this ladder token after defeating all the enemies on the board. So, obviously, the bear shark would be guarding that.
Of course he would.
Why not? All right, so, at the beginning of the game, the first thing we do is we choose our wanderer that we want to play. So, for the demo, we've got Tank, the Turtle Guardian, Ibexus, the Goat Wizard, Finn, the Wolf Ranger, and Roland, the Red Panda Warrior.
Well, I know who you want to be.
Yeah.
She wants to be the Red Panda
Well, of
Warrior.
course you want to be the Red Panda.
She is the Red Panda.
All right, so I'm going to switch this around for you.
So here we go. We've got, this is the current metal production. There will be plastics for the Kickstarter when it's available, but here is the Red Panda. Here is the Goat Warrior. It looks like a
Wizard.
Goat Wizard, you're right.
It's okay, he could be a warrior and knock you on the head with a staff.
That's right. There is the Turtle.
And yes, he is missing an arm.
That's okay. Missing an arm on purpose or missing an arm because of the...
By design.
Okay.
Lost it in a war a long, long time ago.
And there is... Who is this guy?
Finn, the Wolf Ranger.
There we go. So we got a Wolf Ranger.
All right, so,
Fantastic.
and these are just computer prototypes. We are eventually going to have fully pre-assembled plastic for the game that's coming out probably around December and probably will be shipping around mid-January. So, we've chosen our heroes. The first thing we do when we've chosen heroes, you'll notice that your XP tracker is currently at 0.
Okay.
So, that means we're in our first tier of skills. So you go over to your skill set here, and you choose one of the two. So for Tank, for the demo, we're going to pick Vicious Counter. Now that means you stick with this skill throughout the scenario, but don't worry, it's not permanent throughout the game. The next scenario you play, that resets and you get to choose a new set of abilities. So with Vicious Counter, what that means, when you are rolling a crit on your dice roll, that means you cause 1 damage back to an attacker. But luckily, crits explode in our game, so you get to roll another dice as well, got another defensive success, bam, block more damage. Sweet. So, Ibexus is going to take Mystic Affinity. That means when he rolls with his attack, which I can see I'm rolling 3 dice and I'm looking for this range symbol here. If I roll that, look, I got 2 successes, but I got 1 miss because this is a melee attack. I'm going to re-roll that because of Mystic Affinity. I missed, but I got another opportunity to be able to do it. It's all right. Continuing to fail is what Wanderers are all about.
Right.
Next up is Roland. He's going to pick Weapon Focus. That means that he gets Cleave when he rolls a crit attack. Like Tank attacking on his defense, when Roland rolls a crit on offense, that means that he is going to cause damage to another attacker in the same square. The idea is that blade carries through into another enemy. So, following that up, Finn is going to take Focus Shot, which means that on his, with all ranged weapons, he gets Pierce. That means I get to ignore 1 enemy defense. So,
Always good.
That is our abilities. We're going to stick with those through the scenario. So, how do we tell who goes first?
All right, so I'm going to stop you right there and ask you a question so that I can, and everybody else following maybe knows.
Please do.
So, hopefully a lot of my followers are familiar with our Massive Darkness playthroughs. How similar is it to that or a Descent-style board game? Is it a Descent? What I would consider Descent would be like the Dungeon Master versus Heroes, whereas Massive Darkness and Shadows of Brimstone are Heroes versus the board.
I think Shadows of Brimstone is a better comparison because it's a truly co-op game. So the enemies are going to be completely automated. Now, obviously, a player has to move them, but when you have a choice between going one direction or another direction, it comes down to the player. But generally, enemies are going to move, and then they're going to attack the closest target, and then if there's a tie, highest in the initiative order.
Sounds
now,
good.
It sounds simple, and it is to control the enemies, but it makes for some dastardly scenarios. You're going to have to really be smart to get out through this game.
Sounds good.
So, all right. So, how do I know who goes first in this game? You look at the initiative tracker. So normally, when you are setting this up in the game, you take an initiative card for each hero and one for each enemy that's on the board. You shuffle those together, place them face down on the board through the slots, 1 through 12, and you flip them over. That's how you tell your initiative turn order. Now, this isn't static. It can actually change through the game, but I'll explain that once we get there. So, first up is Tank, the Turtle Guardian. All right, you are playing.
That is.
So, Tank, he's a pretty beefed out guy, so hopefully he can get up, get in front of the enemies, and take some damage. So, right now, at the beginning of the game, all heroes start with 2 actions. With those actions, you can move and attack and move, do whatever you want to do. So, if you wanted to, with Tank, you can move 1, 2 spaces, and then you could attack the Starter Grunt. I know you can attack him because he's in an adjacent space. With Tank's hammer, I can tell you're rolling melee attacks.
Okay.
So melee attacks are in an adjacent space or the same space with the enemy.
Sounds good.
Now, I could also, if I wanted to, as playing Tank, go into this darkness square and investigate. So Elder Bane has shrouded the city in darkness. So it's up to you to try and find out what he's hiding in there.
Anybody knows following us, they know we're dumb by choice, so
into the darkness.
We're going to go into the darkness and find out what's in there.
So you're going to spend your first action moving into the darkness, and you found a treasure chest.
Well, there you go.
All right, so let's see what you got.
This can't be right, guys. This has got to be a fixed demo.
Oh, just wait until the other ones.
You know, you guys know Jafo. He fails at everything.
Especially the first time through.
It's okay. I'm a demoer too. I know that feeling. Right there with you. All right, so we look at our treasure deck. We draw the top card. You got the Zweihander. The Zweihander is a 2-handed sword. It does 4 damage, and it also has a special ability where you get +1 attack reroll. Now, if you wanted to, you could equip that right now across Tank, and you could shift those 2 down and put it in the middle slot to be able to equip it. But here's the thing: Tank is kind of your big tank of this scenario.
He's not only the tank by name, but tank by choice, I'm guessing.
Yes, that is the case. Now here's the thing: we have other characters that act as tanks in our expanded world. So you don't necessarily have to play Tank purely as a tank. Now what you can do, so I've got Roland over here. Roland's got a little 1-handed 3-damage sword, and that's a big 2-handed damage sword. So what you can do...
If I remember right, you said he's got some psycho abilities that makes him kind of want this. So how would I go about giving this to...
Basically, since you're in an adjacent space with him, all you have to do is spend 1 action to trade it to Roland. And then
so
Roland
is it an action to pick up the treasure chest?
No, it wasn't. So when you move into a darkness tile, it's the 1 action to move in there, and then you resolve the darkness.
All right.
So that is purely it. So you have a second
I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark. One of these 2 is probably not as friendly as that treasure deck.
It depends. It depends. They could trigger an event, and then we can see what happens. Could be good, could be bad.
So, I'm going to spend my second action and toss that to our
so you can
cleaving warrior over there.
You can automatically equip that, so you're good to go. So that was your turn, which is actually kind of nice because opening up that darkness opened up this avenue for these 2 archers down here. So now they have a line of sight, and you're within attack range of them. But
sounds good.
Since you're the tank, you get to beef out and try and block that damage.
Sounds good to me.
Next up on the initiative tracker are the Otter Grunts. So they're in slot number 2. Now, you've opened up this avenue, so this Otter Grunt can clearly see you.
Of course
he's going to move 1 space, but then he's done. Enemies always move 1 space, then they attack the closest target, they're the highest in the initiative. And range characters try and move 1 space to get an attack range, and then hit their target. Now, attack range for range characters is unlimited in a straight line. It's same for heroes. So if you can see him in a straight line, you can hit him in a straight line.
Sounds good to me.
Now this Otter Grunt is going to move up 1 space, and he is going to attack Tank. Now let's say theoretically, Ibexus is sharing the square with Tank.
Now I'm assuming adjacency is only orthogonally, not diagonally.
Yep.
So since you seem to be pushing Since you had him here, you seem to be focusing on this square and this square, not this square. So.
Yes, so literally it is an orthogonal game, orthogonal movement, orthogonal attacks.
Sounds good.
It is a diagonal, which I will explain in just a second. So, these two characters are in a close square together. They're considered close targets to the autogrunt. So which one did they attack? Top of the initiative order is Tank, so he's the biggest target.
Okay.
So, but that is not the case.
That is not the case, but I am still there.
So Tank is getting attacked for 1 damage. I can tell from my enemy sheet right here. So that's 1 incoming damage. That is automatic coming into Tank.
Okay.
So literally you are rolling your defense versus the enemy. The enemies are fully automated, attack and
we're going
defense.
to take a wild guess here. He's 2 defense, but my gear does state I get an additional 1.
So you're rolling 3 dice and you're looking for shields or crit symbols. All right, so you rolled a shield.
Hey, we got a shield. That can't be right. I'm succeeding.
So you ended up blocking the 1 incoming damage. Good job. So next up, and by the way, this auto grunt didn't activate at all because of our line of sight rules.
Okay.
Take the back corner the enemies are in and the back corner you're in. If you can't draw a straight line, if it gets blocked by red dotted lines or darkness tiles, then they can't see you and they don't activate.
Wonderful.
It's simple geometry. It's the easiest way to make sure they don't go. So that grunt's done. So next up, it goes up to Roland. That is you. So if you want, you can go up and try and smack this otter, but unfortunately, Tank opened up this avenue. So enemies now have line of sight and they've got their bows drawn on you. So you want to make sure if you move out of the way, you got to try and dodge their little quick attacks. So if you want to move, you got to incur a dodge roll.
Okay, could I go this?
You could, absolutely. Now you only need to be in an adjacent space to be able to attack.
Murder.
Okay.
Him. Also, so you know, Tank is the top of the initiative. So if you share a square with him, he's going to be the one
I'm still
taking
going
the
to
hit.
take all the abuse for you, so...
So it's up to you. What do you want to do?
Yeah, we'll just do it this way.
All right, so she moved up 1 space with Roland. That's her move action. Now, you don't necessarily have to move twice or move once then attack once, or attack once and move once. You can attack twice, move twice, it's up to you, however you want to spend your actions. So by doing so, she has to incur a dodge roll because the archer's down here. So you're rolling your defense of 2, and you are rolling to block against 1 damage. Dodge rolls are only ever against 1 damage.
Okay.
15 bear sharks are barreling down on you. Get out of there for 1.
Nice.
That's us being nice. The game is not that friendly.
I know, I'm sure it's on the film, but I personally wasn't paying attention, so why is she rolling a dodge roll?
She's rolling a dodge roll because she's currently
these guys
in
are
attack.
flinging spikes at him. Gotcha.
Yeah, just as an attack of opportunity. All right. Oh, she
Hey,
ended up
there's
blocking.
our rolling. There's
All right.
our rolling.
So you ended up taking 1 damage from the archers down there, but that's okay. You got 4 health left. Now you should also know healing in this game is limited. There are health potions, there are healing fountains, but ultimately you're not going to be healing up much. Damage is a threat, and it is a permanent threat, so be warned.
If I'm assuming there's some form of campaign play, does damage stay from mission to mission?
No, it does not. From scenario to scenario.
So we at least
damage
got a little bit of
doesn't
time to heal at that point. We just got to survive to the end of the mission.
Oh, and so that'll give me a fair chance to explain. So let's say theoretically you lose all your health. Your character, let's say Roland took more than that. So let's say he's up to 4 damage. Roland would then be considered down, so you lay his model on his side. Now that means that Roland drops to the bottom of the initiative, the rest of it shifts up, and then the next time it comes around to Roland's turn, he'll be able to roll a dice to try and get back up. What I mean by that is that you're going to be rolling 1 dice per amount of turns you've got. So you've got 2 turns, right? So you're rolling 1 die, but you actually get an extra die per hero. So if it was just Roland in the square, you roll 1, but I'd roll a crit and I'd be able to get back up and get going. But if I have Tank in the square, I actually get an additional dice and get an extra chance to be able to get back up. So you can see, it's a cooperative game. You want your friend to be in there to try and help you out. But fortunately, Roland was not down, and it's okay. If he had been down too, we would have lost a morale. So currently the morale tracker is at 4. If we had lost a morale and got all the way down to 0 from heroes passing out, we would lose the game. We go and we leave the town dejected in defeat. But luckily, we're wanderers and we're tougher than that. So we're going to try and get through. So Roland just moved up 1 square, so now you get a chance to attack. Now, with your old weapon, you're rolling 3 dice. Now you're rolling 4, and it's a 2-hander. Right? So you're rolling 2 more dice, and you get +1 attack reroll in case you miss one of those dice. All right, so that's awesome. So she got
2 crits.
She got 2 crits and an axe. That's 3 successes. So now she gets to roll 2 extra dice for that. Awesome, she got another crit, so re-roll 1 of those for the crit. All right, that's another crit. Wow, all right, you're talking about bad rolls.
As long as you keep rolling crits, all right.
You keep rolling crits whether you want to or not. All right, so now you get +1 attack re-roll if you want it. Now, here's a suggestion, though. he's very dead. Now, the Otter Grunt has got a defense of 1. That's automatic. So you take away one of your successes, you dealt 4 damage. He's only got 3 HP. Boom, one-shot him. Nice. So give yourself 1 XP. Now you can see here on the little character sheet that they've got all their XPs. Brutes are actually worth 2 just because they're a bigger model.
Okay.
All right. So that was Roland's turn. So next up are archers. And gotta rearrange it. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. All right. So next up are archers.
That's
so
gonna
now,
be those 2 guys.
these 2 archers are going to be attacking this square down here. These are the closest targets. Highest in initiative is Tank, so Tank is the target. So now,
so if I remember right, I've got a point each.
So the archers do 1 damage each. So here's the thing: enemies attack in groups, so that's 2 damage coming at you.
Okay. So 3 dice.
All right. So
That's my roll, and there we go.
there you go. So you
So I
end
get
up taking
2 of
2
those.
damage. Not the end of the world. You still got a lot of HP. So
This is the demo. That's why I'm going to lose.
Yeah,
If this was the real mission, we'd find a way to cheese this and win.
no, we totally had people lose the demo. Actually, I immortalized one of our friends who played this. He hit it on one of the event cards. He punched a treasure chest and exploded and killed him. And then when I did the art for the treasure chest, I literally spelled out in runes, Lance punched this and died. Because we have fun. All right,
Awesome.
so next up, after the archers is Finn. I'm playing Finn the Wolf Ranger. Now here's the cool thing. You opened up that avenue, so you got attacks, which is terrible. But now, I've got all this open territory to be able to shoot.
Sounds good.
So, I don't have to worry about my friends here. There's no friendly fire in this game unless you get mind control, but I'll get into that. So I'm going to be rolling to attack this Otter Grunt because he's got a defense of 1. And because of my Pierce ability, right here, I get to actually ignore that. So I'm going to roll and see if I can take him down. All right, so I got a crit and a range symbol. I'm going to roll another dice for the crit. All right, so that's 2 successes. So that's 2 damage on the Otter Grunt.
Okay.
Now, the cool thing is that was my first action. I get a whole second action, so I'm going to go ahead and attack again.
Reload the bow and get going.
Yeah. All right, so that's 2 successes. I get to ignore his 1 defense. I took down the Otter Grunt.
Nice.
Woo! All right, so that gives me 1 XP. All right, so following that up is Ibexus, the Grumpy Goat Wizard. That's this guy right over here. I'll take care of him as well. So, Ibexus has got a cool ability called Firebomb. So with Firebomb, it says on crit causes 1 AoE wound. What that means is that if I roll a crit on an enemy and I get past their defense, I cause 1 damage automatically to everyone else in the same square. So, I'm going to roll and attack these rabbit archers, and I'm going to try and see if I can get a crit. I didn't. I only got 1 success. But because of Mystic Affinity, I get 1 spell. I get 1 spell die reroll. So I'm going to see what's up.
Oh, there we go.
I'm rolling for the crit. All right, so that's 2 successes. So the rabbits have 0 defense, 2 HP. Take down a rabbit, and this other one actually takes 1 damage because of
your
Firebomb.
Nice.
So next up is the Fishback Caster. This guy right here. Now, because of line of sight rules I explained earlier, back corner to back corner, blocked by a red dotted line, so he's not going to go. Bear Shark's blocked by this darkness tile, so he's not going to go either. So that is done. So now it goes back up to Tank at the top of the round.
Wonderful.
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 Puns.
Oh, this game is loaded with them.
We'll go 2 there. Is there anything like charge at all?
No, here's the thing. If you wanted to, so if you move up 2 spaces here,
Yes.
you're going to get attacked by this rabbit archer.
Okay.
Because you have to incur a dodge roll to get an attack of opportunity. But if you wanted to, you could go a little crazy and you could try and explore this darkness tile and see what's up. Now that'll open up this avenue to these enemies, but that's up to you.
Well, let's start with what is this token right
So
here?
that is a spawn token. I will explain that in just a minute.
All right.
I promise you, stepping on it will not cause any harm or damage yet.
All right. So if I move over here, I still have to take a defense roll from a dodge roll from that?
You would, absolutely.
All right. So 1, 2, and I'll have to take a dodge roll. Dodge roll is just 1 die?
Your full defense.
My full defense.
It gets 1 incoming damage. All right, you blocked it,
the
so
one.
you're good.
Block the one.
All right,
We're
so that's
good.
your first action, move over. So your second action, you're going to move into the darkness.
We'll go
Let's see what
there, and
happens.
he wants me to die, so...
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, if you
It's
do
almost like he set this up on purpose, so it looks like I gotta draw this event card.
it's like it's a similar symbol or something.
And
So
I
what'd you get?
We've got Potion Roulette. You find a table covered in mysterious potions. Which one do I choose? Check knowledge.
All right, before you read ahead, go ahead and roll your knowledge check.
Knowledge
So,
looks like this brain, I'm guessing.
Tank is kind of a
Not
dumb
as
turtle.
smart as
He's
we
got a
would
lot
like.
of knowledge, but
No, you want these 2.
so you're looking for axes or crits?
Okay.
All right, so you got
So
one.
I got a 1.
So 0 to 1. You
Oh,
choose
shit.
poison.
I choose poison.
Take
I take
one wound.
another wound. That's not good.
That's
That
great.
sounds about right for me.
Now, here's the deal. If you had rolled a 2+, you would have chosen an elixir and gotten +1 attack die for the next round. 3+, you would have gotten a health potion, which you could have really used about now. But that's okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not wounded at all.
No, not wounded. We're in denial. All right, so so that was Tank's first and second action to get in
First
there.
and second, so
his
we're
turn
good.
is done. So next up is the Otter Grunts. This
Hey,
Otter
look,
Grunt's
I gave him line of sight to somebody.
So he's going to move up and he's going to attack you for 1 damage.
3 dice, looking for
Take the
shields.
claw.
All right, so you
block
rolled
and
a
a
crit.
critical.
Now, when you roll a crit, you roll another dice. All right, so you still got that 1 critical because the vicious counter, you actually dealt the damage back to your attacker.
Oh, that's
Nice.
right. That's this ability right there.
All right, so next up is Roland. Let's see if you can't come in and help Tank. You're going to have to spend both actions to get in there, but at least you'll be up. Yep. All right, so next round you're going to be able to wreak some havoc. So following that up is the Archer. So this Archer rabbit's down here. He's got these 2 targets. Top of the initiative in the square is Finn. So Finn's going to get attacked for 1 damage. That's me. So 1 damage is incoming to me. I don't block it, so I take 1 damage. Oh no. All right,
That's
but
right.
now it's time for revenge. So I'm going to attack this guy. Let's see what's up. All right, so I rolled 2 successes, ended up taking him down. That's awesome. I'm now at 2 XP. I'm just going to use Abexis to track that. So following that up is Abexis. He's going to move over 2 spaces, and he's going to attack this bear shark. All right, so he got 2 successes. Bear shark's got 2 defense, so it's a little bit beefy. I'm going to see if I can't re-roll this miss and cause damage. Ooh, I got a crit. Gonna roll for the crit. All right, it's okay.
Whatever. You
Still,
at least got through.
any damage to a bear shark is good damage.
Oh yeah, they've got what? 5 health and 2 armor.
Yeah,
So
little intense.
they're a little bit of a trial.
All right,
They also do 2 damage.
so now it's the Fishback caster's turn. So now, luckily, we're not immediately next to these guys, so they're going to do, because they have a nasty ability called Miasma. So with Miasma, it's -1 to your attack when you are close to a caster. Close is anything 1 space away.
Alright, so they got a stink spell or something.
Yeah, so they're tough to deal with as a melee character. But, luckily, we have ranged characters to be able to tackle them down. But the Backcaster is a ranged character, and he's going to be attacking Tank for 1 damage.
Of course, because I'm the fastest guy and I have to get hit.
True story. All right, 2 crits. Boom.
2 criticals.
Now here's the thing: you block the damage, but you don't need to roll anymore because the crits don't actually affect
Because
him
he's not
whatsoever.
melee to be able to bounce it back.
Yep,
Gotcha.
yep. All right, so next up is the mighty bear shark. Now these guys do 2 damage, so they're coming after Tank.
Hey, of course they are.
Oh, you rolled a
we
crit.
got a
So roll for the
critical.
crit. Woo!
And another critical.
Keep going.
And a block.
That's 3 successes. That means
With a
you
critical
fully
to hit him back for 1.
You fully block the damage. No, each crit is 1 damage.
Oh, really? Okay, it's a
Boom! I've seen
Nice.
someone crit strike with Tank on a defense strike, took down a bear shark.
nice.
I love it. All right, so following that up is Tank. Time for revenge.
Let's see if we can get some.
So you're rolling 3 dice, and you got a choice between the otter or the bear shark.
Let's put it into the big guy.
All right. All right, so that's 2
there's-
successes and a crit. So roll for the crit.
There's 3. There's 4.
4 successes.
4
so
minus his 2 armor.
guess what? 2 damage. That puts him over at 5. You took him down.
Nice. And that gives me some XP finally.
Yes, so you get 2 XP.
For being a biggin.
Congratulations, you're on the board. All right, so that was your first action. You got a whole second
I
action.
might as well clear the field for her. For 1.
Slight
or
difference.
not.
He's got a defense of 1, so you
Yep.
don't break through. That's okay. So now we're going to take the bear shark off the board. We're also going to take archers off the board. The reason we're doing this is because in the advanced rules, it's very important. So you may notice these symbols next to the initiative board here.
Yep.
So there's a shield, an axe, and a boot. So that means that with the shield, you're doing +1 defense. The axe, you're doing +1 attack, and the boot, you're doing +1 movement. But guess what? This applies to the enemies as well.
Okay.
So, shifting your position around in the initiative order is important. So,
All right. Nothing. We're good.
they're totally good. All right, so here's the thing too, is that the initiative tracker isn't actually static. So if you wanted to, like let's say right now Tank's got 3 HP down. If Roland wanted to, Roland could jump to the top of the initiative, and help out Tank by being the new top primary target.
Okay.
So that way, Tank
do
is a
that.
little bit safe. Now, but that takes a full turn to be able to do that. Also, alternatively, if Tank wanted to, he could drop to the bottom of the initiative on his turn so he doesn't have to take those hits anymore. So just as an example, but that also shifts the whole initiative around. So then all of a sudden,
I believe it's that currently, right?
it is
Yes.
that currently.
So if I were to move, I'd just give it up to the grunt.
Yeah, if you were to move,
If I
you
were
go
to-
all the way to the bottom, and this whole thing would shift up.
Okay.
So as you can see, if you had done that, the grunt would now be in the defense slot and be harder to take down, but he wouldn't be in the attack slot. So it adds another layer of complexity to the
Okay.
game. All right, so that is not the case right now. So let me see. Who was the last one to go?
I just went and
just
failed to murder that guy right there.
All right, so the grunt is
So
going to try and
it's
take
his turn
revenge
to go
for his
right
friend.
back for not getting much.
All right, so
I succeeded taking my damage.
all right.
And if you're now introducing that, he would take 2, wouldn't he?
If we were now, but for the demo, we are not. We're still playing in the simple mode. We don't need to go down too fast.
We don't need to go super hard.
All right.
All right.
So here's the deal. Tank's on his last leg. What you have a choice of doing as Roland is one of two things. You can either
Laugh
just
at me horrendously.
you can either try and absolutely murder this
saying,
otter.
why did you drink
try
poison,
and
you
be-
dork?
So what you could do is you could try and murder this otter, and then try and get up one space further to try and kind of get in front of your friend, because they'll attack the closest target first.
Okay.
Or if you wanted to, you could just jump to the top of the initiative now. My suggestion: murder.
Yeah, I'm good with following through.
Murder.
Murder, otter murder. Just kidding. They're all taking naps. That's what's happening.
Yeah,
It's family
permanent
friendly.
in the ground.
Yeah, ground dirt naps. It's great.
Naps. Oh, there we go. There we go. 4 hits.
Nice. All right. So 4 hits. Boom. Took down the otter grunt. Give yourself 1 XP.
I completed my job in murder.
Yeah,
you did. You gonna go stand in there
Well
and
done. Well done on the murder. All right. So now you have to do a dodge roll to be able to get in range of him, but you're
as
still
he
defending your
flings the
friend.
spell.
All right. So you're rolling 2 defense against 1 incoming damage. You end up taking 1. That's fine. Now you're going to be defending your buddy, so he doesn't go down.
All
so
right.
next up,
I appreciate it.
next
Whatever,
up is
I'm half
Finn.
dead.
Next up is Finn the
And
Wolf
you're
Ranger.
half dead.
So we're good.
So Finn's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to use both his actions to move over.
Wonderful.
So he is done. Now, Finn's not going to be the new target because Roland is still the closest. Alexis is going to go 1, 2, move up here, and he's going to try and take down this backcaster. So I'm rolling 3 dice. All right, I got 2 successes and an axe. I'm going to reroll the axe because of Mystic Affinity. All right, I don't get anything, so that's just 1 damage to him because he's got a defense of 1.
Yes, it does.
All right,
You
so
at least hit.
true. Now
That's
it's
all that matters
Now
right
it's
now.
backcaster's turn. He's attacking you.
Yeah. 2 defense.
Wow. All right. Yeah. Not a thing. You are unscathed. All right. So next up, it's Tank. So you have 1 health left.
I'm gonna go like this. I see a treasure token.
All right. You're gonna have to roll a dodge.
Oh crap. I'm gonna have to roll a dodge regardless of what I do.
Well, you could just sit there. That's a choice.
That's boring, and everybody likes watching me die, so
Oh, you made it through.
it makes it.
Nice. All right. So you made
now
it
I'm
through.
gonna go there.
You're gonna pick up this treasure. What'd you get?
I got a lucky gem. +1 reroll on all attack, defense, and knowledge checks.
So think about that. Every attack, every defense check,
Every time I roll a
knowledge check.
die.
Yes, you get 1 reroll.
Hey,
That's
look,
nice.
I think you got a physical one of these while we were
I
waiting
did,
in
I
line
got-
on our way in.
I found No Face, and he gave me a gold, so now I'm gonna get murdered later.
What? Oh yeah.
No Face
yeah.
gave me
He was
gold.
like handing out gold. It was amazing.
Yeah,
you better watch yourself.
Yeah, we're good. I'm dead.
Following that up, so Tank just went, so now it is the Otter Grunt, which is no longer on the board, so we shift
Now,
this up.
does that remove immediately, or does that remove when it comes to their turn and you can
It's supposed to
prop-
be removed immediately
Okay.
after they've gotten eliminated from the
Okay.
board. As I said, with the advanced rules, it's good, but after you've been demoing a game for 3 days, you lose track.
Oh, that's all right, man. You're totally wise, and we trust all of your knowledge.
That is a horrible mistake. I'm just kidding. All right, so next up is Roland's turn.
Woo!
You can end this. Now, here's the thing. You're rolling -1 because of the miasma.
One. Yeah.
So you're rolling 3 dice. What? I can't jazz hands and support you?
There you go, jazz hands.
All right, so that's 3 successes. That's all you needed. One of those got blocked by his defense, the other two went through, boom, took him down. So give yourself 1 XP. Now let's say, theoretically, you had gotten to tier 2. So go ahead and give yourself 1 more XP. So, our friend's just gotten to tier 2. We're all happy about it. Let's all celebrate. Everyone gets 1 XP. Yeah.
I like that.
Now here's a problem. We celebrated too hard. And Elder Bane is now paying attention, and he's going to send reinforcements to come and investigate. So you'll notice a one-time skull symbol right next to tier 2.
Yes.
That means when you get the first character to break through that tier causes that spawn. But he also causes people to get +1 experience. Tier 3, you get +2 experience, and etc., etc. So,
What is
it's
the
good.
explosion mark at the end?
The explosion mark at the end, that's the megalopotamus. If you get to tier 5, literally, Elder Bane's going to send his big boy at you. So megalopotamus is basically a fist-sized Dunkleosteus hippopotamus model that's going to be destroying you.
Yes!
It's fun. All right, so here's what's going to happen. So when you cause that to happen, a tier spawn, you go over to your spawn deck and you flip over the top card. It's not a demo. I'm not jerry-rigging this at all. All right, so you pick over your
You're
top...
not on camera. We have no proof.
We're not on camera. There's no proof I did any of this. It's fine. You'll see.
Editing is a wonderful trick, gentlemen.
Yeah, merci. All right, so we take the top card from our spawn deck.
Yep.
We flip it over. And what do we got? All right, so normally when you're populating the board, you pull spawn cards and you spawn at these random spawn points around the board. So instead of 2 archers now, she's in tier 2, so bam, 2 grunts get spawned at the closest spawn point to her, which is right
She
here.
just murdered. Okay.
Boop. So congratulations, you now have 2 more grunts on the board. And they're back on the initiative tracker.
And they immediately slot into the nearest space available on the initiative?
Yep, they always, which typically is the bottom slot.
Right.
Which is always the bottom slot. All right, so here's the cool thing with rolling though, is that since you just got into tier 2, guess what? You got a second action, or a third action now. What? So you spent 1 action to kill that backcaster, right? All right, so that means you have 2 actions left.
Woo!
Yeah.
Murder!
Get
Look,
him!
and my ass one's gone.
Hit him in the
Even I get that
face!
4. I get my 1 die back.
And I believe you have some kind of weird cleave ability, don't you?
They cleave on a crit.
So on a crit, you can cleave 1 damage through another enemy. Let's see if you can do
And
it.
is that kind of the same? Oh, go ahead and roll. We'll ask as it happens.
Boom!
There's a crit, so another die.
All right, so re-roll this miss because of the Zweihander. All right, so that's 5 successes. All right, so here's what happens. So one of those gets blocked. The rest of it's raw damage. So this autogrun is down. Oh, Gary. This one's Gary. He makes me
Gary.
sad. All right, so because of that, yeah, Gary's got a little bit of a chipped thing. It's okay.
That's all right.
Gary's a demo model. He's
That's
been okay. All right, poor Gary. All right, so because of that crit, because of your cleave ability, the damage automatically carries through to 1 other enemy in the same space. Now here's the reason that's a cool thing. So let's say you were attacking a bear shark in the same space as that. So the bear shark's got 2 defense, so the damage carries through to the bear shark automatically. So that's a good way to be able to take down bigger models. So now you got 1 more move. Let's see if you can't take down this otter grunt and win the day. All right, so
Only 2.
so you can re-roll 1 of those. All right,
Make it
that's 3
3.
successes. That's all
That's
you
an
needed.
otter
You took them
grunt.
down.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 2 more experience for you. Now you guys have cleared the board. We get a chance to breathe. We get a chance to relax. Everyone heals 1 HP.
Hey, all right. I'm not dying.
Yeah. All right. So
That's what we like to hear.
So you guys have 2 choices. You can either check out the startness tile or go down the ladder. The ladder marks the end of the playable demo, but I do have a couple things I'd like to explain. All right. So what do you want to do?
I would assume we continue in initiative order, or
Yes, you do.
so I guess technically that's your choice. You are the next initiative,
Oh yeah,
sir.
I am. All right. Well, I want to go into the darkness.
If you want to get us murdered, we're totally cool with it.
All right. So
Yeah, of course we do.
I triggered another event. Let's see what I got.
Wow.
All right, I got Lady of the Puddle. You see a mysterious siren looking back at you through a magical puddle. Check knowledge. Luckily, I'm decently smart, so I got a good chance for
Yeah,
that.
he's playing all the smart characters.
All right, I got 3 successes, so 3 plus.
You attempt to communicate with her, she is pleased and gives you a gift to draw a treasure card.
Basically, you saw this Catwoman mermaid in a puddle, and you just went, hey, what's up, lady? High five.
And she's got stanky old armor, but it's pretty good because it's +1 defense and health.
Yep. All right, so awesome. So Finn now's got +1 defense, +1 HP. So we have discovered everything in the dungeon, so here's what's going to happen. Ibexus is going to go to the ladder token. The first character to hit the ladder token with no enemies, and we're all on the same tile, triggers one of my favorite things about our game. Oh man, look at this. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, look at that. We got a whole nother dungeon.
So, congratulations, you are now officially in Encounter 2 of the intro scenario. So, our campaign book will literally lay this out like a Denny's menu. So, if you can read a Denny's menu, you can figure out our game.
All right, you hear that, guys? A Denny's menu, if you can read one of those. If not, start shopping at your local Denny's.
So, basically what we would do from here is we would populate the board with enemies from our spawn deck. Now, since she got to Tier 2, guess what? We're spawning enemies for the Tier 2 slot. So we're pulling one spawn card per hero and one spawn card per big tile. So this is just an intro scenario, so it's one big tile. There's other scenarios with 3 or 4 big tiles connected to it.
Okay.
So those are a little bit more drawn out, but they're definitely a lot of fun.
So we'll just go straight off the top. We'll respawn that. We would get 2 grunts. Uh-oh, 1 brute. That's that guy over there.
Yep.
And finally, 2 bat casters.
So as you can see, it ramps up as you go.
Yes.
So you guys would do that round robin around the spawn points. You deal with the enemies, deal with that bear shark, and guess what? That's the end of the intro scenario. So you're just trying to infiltrate the cultist in. This is one of 24 scenarios in the game, which includes 3 boss fights, which include their own unique AI decks. You're going to fight a crocodile lobster, a tree frog nautilus witch doctor, and you're also going to be fighting Elder Bane at the end of this game. There's also 9 of these double-sided tiles, 65 event cards, over 100 item cards, 45 super high detailed models. We are really excited about this. We actually just got our manufacturer's package in today.
We did. I happened to just see parts of it as we got in earlier today.
And we've seen the models. We're really excited with the high quality that we're going to get from them. So it's really exciting times. So this game's going to be available for sale sometime around January. Currently it's being made and delivered over here right now.
Wonderful.
So, if you guys have any questions, you can check out our Facebook page. We're Panda Cult Games. Also, our website at pandacultgames.com. Make sure to check us out.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful, Heath. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
That was a wonderful demo. Thanks, guys. It's been a Jafo demo from GenCon. We'll see you in the next one. That's okay. So I see one big banner there, Heath. What can you tell us about this?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you a thing. No. So this is going to be Shovel Knight Dungeon Duels. This is a new game that we're working on in conjunction with Yacht Club Games, the fine creators of Shovel Knight, one of our favorite games. So Jonathan and I were sitting around playing Shovel Knight as co-op mode, and we had a lot of fun using a charged up slash to knock each other into a pit. So we thought, why don't we this would make a fun board game. And then all of a sudden our friend was like, why don't you just contact them and see if they want you to make it? And we went, oh, okay, cool.
That's an idea.
So we started talking with them, we started developing a product model, and within a few weeks we were sitting there playing a prototype on Skype, and they were laughing hysterically, having so much fun playing this game. So the idea is, it is a 1 to 4 player competitive dungeon game. So the idea is that you have tiles that are constantly shifting as you're going through the game, and you are playing a series of Shovel Knights, and if the Kickstarter goes well enough, the Order of No Quarter, and you are playing through a dungeon. You are fighting familiar enemies of the series, falling into pits, and the whole goal is to gain treasure. So, the player with the highest treasure wins the game. But every time you fall into a pit, or die, or fall off the map, you lose half your treasure. So the idea is it's a mad dash to gather as much as you can. By the way, when you do lose that treasure, it's on the board for someone else
to loot. Nice.
Not to mention, at the end of the dungeon session, you're in a boss fight. So suddenly you're in the Order of No Quarter, and then Spectre Knight's coming around and slashing everyone around the map. That's actually how I won in that playtesting, is that Spectre Knight literally destroyed everyone, and I ended up just picking up all the gold and winning in the last second. I was very proud of that. So that's going to come to Kickstarter probably sometime next summer. That's what we're expecting.
Okay.
And you should just follow us on Facebook, and you'll be getting more news from it.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Licensed property for it, and we'll be here starting that next summer, July or so probably. It's going to be 1 to 4 player, competitive, and a little cooperative, but still working to obviously get the treasure. It's going to be side-scrolling, so flipping tiles, similar to the video game. So.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
No problem.